Through storms, unshaken, unbowed. Through trials and verdicts, still standing proud. A titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it aloud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key. Make the big switch. Power to the people. Time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him. He's moving on. With plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules. A new dawn's day. From the hands of the few to the people's way.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Crazy Kryptonaut Show. I am Zester, and happy Trump Day to everyone out there. I hope everyone is having an awesome week, an easy one. Yeah, guys, I know I see that Mark and Andy over there are going a little bit late today. They're having a good time and having a great conversation. So might have some folks trickling in a little bit later, but we'll go ahead and jump into everything. Good morning, Kukla. How are you doing? And a happy Trump Day to you. I'm wearing the shirts today. I need to find somewhere in the laundry is my whiskey and wisdom, and so I'm going to have to track that one down today. Otherwise, I'm going to be getting a pinch this evening, I think. But thank you so much for being here. And good morning, Mile High Trish. Welcome. Good morning, LG Lady. Good morning, Captain Spiffy. Kukla, love the t-shirt. Yeah. Now, some very nice person made this one. Yeah. Good morning there, Rocker Mom. Captain Spiffy, I left Andy and Mark Z for Zester. Oh, thank you so much, Captain Spiffy. Thank you so much. Hey there, Rashada Beard, and good morning to you. Good morning. Kukla out loud, Zester. Do you need a pinch? No. I am good. I do not need any pinches. I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of a search. Somewhere between the laundry hamper, the laundry, and it coming back, it managed to hide itself. So I'll track it down today. But all right, guys. Let's jump in and start talking about some of the news. I imagine as people trickle in, we'll start getting a bunch more questions. So I'll go ahead and jump in to some of the different news articles today. And maybe we'll have a little bit of a shorter stream. I would say, guys, and just as a heads up, if I disappear, while I was getting prepared for the stream today, my computer had an unexpected crash. It took an unexpected break while working this morning. And so just as a heads up, if anything does occur, that's probably what happened. I think I got it fixed, though. I sure hope I did. Otherwise, I'm going to be playing IT guy all day today. Oh, howdy there's Neil Brooks. What's up, man? Neil says, howdy, Zester from Grand, North Carolina. Getting ready to retire. So I took profits from my crypto and bought an RV camper and a new F-150. Congratulations, Neil. That is awesome, man. I am super happy for you, Neil. Definitely. That is super, super awesome. I'm going to go camping, go tour around. Yeah, that is awesome. I'm super happy for you, Neil. Super happy for you. And that's what it is, you know. That's where you get to do things like that. That is so awesome. I imagine XRP and Stellar and a few others have helped out quite a bit on that journey. Yes, an important one before I go getting too far off. The content in this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes and is not intended to provide financial advice. Please consult with a financial professional before making investment decisions. A very important one. Thank you, Kukla, for making certain that I get it. Gary, good morning. Gary7 asks, how are the cats? The cats are doing very well. I imagine that they're all in a little kitty cat pile on the couch in the front of the house right now. But I would imagine we get a Tommy. We'll get a Tommy visit at least. He seems like he's getting pretty regular with making an appearance during our new time slot in the mornings. But thank you, Gary, for being here. I hope you're having an awesome day. And Gary 7 on Monday, it was quite prophetic because I think it had been last Friday or sometime last week or in one of the recent streams, you had asked about how soon or how regularly or how fast are we going to be able to start using cryptocurrencies in order to actually make purchases. And it was just Monday of this week, 2 days ago, that PayPal announced integrations for merchant accounts where you are able now, as any merchant who accepts PayPal, to start accepting cryptocurrencies. And it actually allows for self-custodian purchasing through Coinbase. And so Coinbase is really just providing the software, a portal for your cryptocurrency wallet to connect. And so, Gary, I feel like you asked the question and then it literally came into existence a couple of days after. And so I'm very excited for that one. Very excited for that one. Not a big PayPal fan, but I'm still excited for the fact that cryptocurrency payments are going to become easier and easier and easier, because if PayPal's doing it, other companies are going to follow suit. Matter of fact, that's going to be in some of our articles today, because things are just continuing to accelerate in regards to adoption and how fast we're seeing financial institutions move from Swift and move over to cryptocurrency. Google, oh no, Zester, did Tina pull a plug? I don't think I can blame the computer going down this morning on any of the cats. Really not certain what happened to it. Really not certain what it was so upset about. It had some type of operating system error, so I had to clean that up in a rush before this morning's stream. But I think I got it. A kitty cat pile. Well, it doesn't make sense to say that a dog pile if it's 3 cats, but they do tend to lay with each other. They fight when they're awake, and then they all snuggle up when they're taking naps. But it's because they're not really fighting. They just play. Deborah, good morning. Good morning, Deborah. Welcome. Kukla, what kind of coffee today, Zester? Actually, I'm taking a coffee break today. I went with all cordyceps. And so I had on buttload of cordyceps this morning, and I'm feeling particularly energetic. It's kind of nice taking a break off of the coffee some mornings, and the cordyceps make for the perfect switch, because I still need the energy. How about you, though, Kukla? What coffee are you going for? Good morning there, Frank. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get to some of our articles, because we do have a few interesting ones today. Let's get that pulled up. And we have a few thinkers in the articles that I pulled up today. We got a few that I'm going to throw out there, some that I don't really necessarily agree with, but I always think it's a good idea to question your own belief structure. And so we got an article or two in that regard. But looking at the market overall, we're seeing Bitcoin 118,000. I think we're pretty much sitting exactly where we were sitting on Monday in regards to Bitcoin's price. XRP sitting at $3.14. Ethereum right under 3,800. I believe Stellar still sitting right there at 40 some cents, 41 cents. We've hit a little bit of we're trading sideways at the moment, but that is to be expected. That is absolutely to be expected. As we are going to be looking towards any potential Fed rate cuts, which could be announced this week. And so in terms of that, I think everybody is kind of sitting on pins and needles waiting for Fed rates to come out. Once we do get that answer, then the market, it's going to react positive or negatively. Franco, I had your share of coffee this morning, Zester. LOL. Hey, I'm glad that you took up the slack. I'm a consistent. I've got to have my caffeine, got to have my coffee to start the day. But I've been trying to take days off and go a little bit more au natural. trying. But of course, I also take it with my coffee each morning. So, Captain Spiffy. Zester said at Mile High Trish can also answer questions. How do we email Trish? Should I wait for Zester to respond instead? Captain Spiffy, I know that there are a lot of things that people have been asking about in regards to questions on, like, connecting your ledger to a phone using one of the adapter cords. Mile High Trish has great experience with that, far more experience than I have specifically with connecting via one of those adapter cords. So there are definitely things that, and Mile High Trish, she knows a lot about all kinds of tech stuff. So definitely. Darren Jeb selling his stash undercut the run. There have been a lot of really, really big crypto holders who have been diversifying over the past couple of months. There's also been a whole lot of traditional finance that have been diversifying into cryptocurrency. And so those barriers are kind of breaking down between each other. I would absolutely say cryptocurrency seems to be winning in regards to overall volume of transactions. As we have seen, and reports are still coming out that these numbers may be even higher than what we currently know, but that SWIFT transactions have drastically fallen by 20 to 30% over the past couple of months, but only on the year-to-month style of looking at the statistics. So we don't know if that's going to maintain itself, but right now, massively more money and more transactions are being conducted on the blockchain than ever before. But we are seeing a lot of big guys who are starting to sell some of their long-held Bitcoin stashes. Franco bought more XRP at 307 this morning. Hey, you're up. You're already made 7 cents 7 cents a coin there, Frank. Hopefully that maintains itself. Hopefully it keeps going that direction. All right, though. The SEC. This is our first major move from the new SEC chair, Paul Atkins. And of course, it's also the first time we've ever had a pro-crypto anything come out of the SEC. So this is a particularly exciting day. The SEC approves in-kind redemptions for all spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. This is actually very, very cool, guys. The decision allows authorized participants to create and redeem ETF shares directly into Bitcoin or Ethereum rather than having to use cash. And so this is extremely exciting. One thing right off the bat, it just breaks down barriers in terms of getting into cryptocurrency. For those that are only able or only comfortable participating with ETFs or traditional really very, very traditional financial institutions. This allows them even easier access to these different cryptocurrencies and allows for more cryptocurrencies to easily start to be added in as ETFs. That in and of itself is very exciting. What is more exciting, in my opinion, is the fact that they are now able to redeem in the actual cryptocurrency. Now, why? Well, the reason is because there was a bit of a problem with the ETFs and the way that they were operating. So you show up and you want to participate in the ETF. You would then provide BlackRock or whoever it is that's providing this service. You would give them cash. Now, BlackRock would have a treasure trove of Bitcoin sitting there. You gave them cash. They bought Bitcoin. They hold the Bitcoin. Well, here's the issue. Now, if you want your money back, the only option is to sell the Bitcoin. That's it. Is to remove your shares from BlackRock, which is going to result in BlackRock selling the underlying Bitcoin in order to give you that money. As opposed to how it can work now, where now you could actually take possession of the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, the crypto, whatever it is. And that means that now it doesn't have to be sold in order for you to take over possession of your money, your shares. Now you can actually just take possession of the crypto. That is very, very exciting for all the money that's already been poured into these ETFs. Because otherwise that money can never come back out of that ETF unless we're selling Bitcoin. Now it's going to be able to come out. It's going to create a lot less sell pressure whenever we see some of these different major financial institutions making their moves, because now there's not going to be all of it just getting sold. We covered back during some of the heydays of the different ETFs, how we could watch and track how much money, say, the BlackRock or the Vanguard ETF had been going through in terms of inflows and outflows. It could be hundreds of millions of dollars in a day, could be outflow. That's hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin sold on the market at market order, at market price. That's not limit order. That's not strategic. It's going to have a downward pressure on the price of Bitcoin. And that's what kept occurring naturally because of the way that the ETFs worked. Now we have a whole other option. And so this is a very, very exciting one. And really, I guess the most exciting part is this is just the first time that the SEC has ever had something come out that was crypto friendly, that they actually wanted to happen. Otherwise, the SEC has only ever had anything occur that was pro crypto because they lost in court. Otherwise, the SEC has never done anything for the crypto space. And well, now we can no longer say that. Technically, the SEC has at least done us one favor. So exciting times, exciting times. All right. Cassie, my emails are way beyond just crypto. Worthy of waiting. Just read the emails, please. All right, man. Will do, Captain Spiffy. Will do. I gotcha. Franco, I'm buying before I'm priced out. Hey, if some of these things keep on the same track, I can definitely see that. But luckily with crypto, we can always own droplets or smaller portions in shares, Satoshis in Bitcoin. All right. Rich Roper, where's your link that has Ledger's connection to buy? It's in the link tree. Oh, mile high, Trish, you're faster than me. Mile high, Trish, you're the bomb. All right. Yeah. Franco, XRP, Dinar, Dong, one way or another. Hey, I have a diversified portfolio. I've got cryptocurrencies, currencies, gold, and silver, and bonds, and that's where I'm sitting at, and I feel pretty good about the future. Okay, cool. Joey Mathis, hello, Zester. Is there going to be interest paid for holding / using certain crypto / stable coins in the future? If so, which ones would you say might be the best investment? I have XRP, Ethereum, and XLM. Joey, well, thank you so much for joining, Joey, and that's a great question. And Joey, so what we are seeing right now is we are already seeing that you can earn by holding stablecoins. One of the great examples is Coinbase. Coinbase offers for USDC, which is a stablecoin pegged to the US dollar, they offer 4.1%. And it is paid out every single month. Now, that is not 4.1% per month. It is 4.1% over the year, generally speaking. And so that means you would get essentially 1/12 of 4.1% each month on your USDC that you keep on Coinbase. Now, 4.1% is not going to make you an immediate overnight millionaire, but that is an extreme, and that's compounding interest. And so you're able to put money in. You're not going to spend anything to do it because remember, the USDC is just a US dollar in a digitized form. And so you're able to go to Coinbase, put $500 of your cash in there, convert it to USDC for free. And so you are at zero cost right now, $500 in there, and then you will start to earn 4.1% on that $500 as long as that $500 stays in Coinbase. And so, Joey, we're actually going to get a lot of opportunities to have far safer investments, because what we can do now, Joey, is we're not taking any overall risk on that. You know, when it comes down to it, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, XLM, all of these cryptos are going to remain to some degree volatile. Now, volatility will probably go down as the market matures, but ultimately, they're still going to have volatility. And so there's going to be a huge interest in actually taking it and sitting some money in the very safe option of stable coins. You may not get a 30% price increase that you might see while holding something like Bitcoin, but it's safe, it's steady, and you're always able to take that stable coin out, convert it back to a US dollar, and go do whatever it is that you want to do with it. And so, actually, I think that you're going to see, Joey, that you're not going to need to invest in these ahead of time. You're going to be able to start making that decision and saying, hey, I've got $1,000. It's sitting in my bank account. It's earning, less than 1% sitting in your checking or your savings with Wells Fargo. Well, why not take that $1,000, put it onto Coinbase or to some other exchange that offers, or into a staking protocol that offers returns, and be able to get that money out there and working, start actually earning something off of it. And it'd be extremely easy because, Joey, not only could you have your stable coins earning you money, you can have them immediately ready to spend. And so you can very easily go and say, hey, bam, I'm only going to keep the $1,000 earning interest for a month, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to go buy myself I don't know, we're going to go on vacation, whatever it may be. You're going to have complete and easy access to your liquidity while being able to earn a far better return than you're going to get from any of the banks at the moment. And Robbie bought, good point though. It's still a risk to keep it in an exchange. Absolutely. There are still going to be small risks in terms of those types of things. Same thing if you stake it. And so say you were to go yield farming with it or liquidity providing, and the liquidity pool gets hacked or something of that nature. There's still the possibility of there being some type of loss overall, but it is very, very minimal, the overall risk. Shannon Martins works perfectly with Coinbase debit card. There, absolutely, Shannon. And that's a great, great example. I'm glad that you brought that one up, because there's a very, very easy access to being able to start earning while participating, while being in the crypto space. Coinbase debit card allows you to have your stable coin on Coinbase earning that return, and then you're able to also go spend it anywhere that you would typically spend a debit or a credit card, and you earn points. And so you're earning while the money is sitting there in the account, and you're earning when you spend it. So there really are some awesome, there are some very, very awesome programs already out there. Sherry Olson, how can I learn about this? I know nothing. Sherry, do not worry. You came to the perfect place. Hang out with us, ask questions, and I will be happy to help and get you started on your journey towards learning. And it's very, very, very daunting when you first get started. It seems like it is a mountain of knowledge that you need to acquire. Really, when you start to get down to it, it's not as bad. It's a mountain if you want to become an absolutely, you want to be fluent in the language of crypto. It is a mountain of information. But if you want to be capable of operating in crypto, stay safe, be able to participate, it ends up not being as bad as it looks at first. So thank you so much for joining us, Sherry. And I am happy to have you. You're in the right place. Rich Roper, maybe can't order while on Zester Pound Ledger, but will not hook up. I am not certain on that one, Rich Roper. I can go over there and check to see if there's anything going on with the link real quick, but I believe it seems to be good on my side. It may just be the internet being a little slow for you, Rich, or maybe a browser or something like that. Hopefully it starts working for you pretty quick. All right, though. Let's jump to our next article. Here we go. We're talking about how fast everything is changing, how fast crypto is being adopted. JP Morgan to allow crypto purchases with Coinbase. Guess what? We were just talking about stablecoin rewards. Coinbase and JP Morgan Chase partner to bring crypto purchases, stablecoin rewards, and direct bank integrations to Chase customers. JP Morgan Chase partnered with Coinbase Of course, naturally, seeing overall rise in the price, the value of Coinbase stock, and says Coinbase said this will be the first major rewards program redeemable for crypto. For the first time, points from a major credit card rewards program will be redeemable for crypto rewards. Now, Coinbase also said Chase card users can link their accounts to Coinbase directly. The exchange said this feature, scheduled for 2026, will give users easier ways to buy crypto. Coming soon, credit cards on Coinbase. And now, yes, it is. And beyond this, JP Morgan revealed in our earnings call that the company had plans to be involved in stablecoins. Move was driven by competition with other fintech companies that are trying to replace traditional financial systems. And so we are seeing some major players get into the space. And this one it's going to become easier and easier and easier. And the next couple of years, matter of fact, maybe I should stop saying years. I should start saying months with how fast things are going. In the next couple of months, you're going to see a massive simplifying of the process of getting money into crypto and getting money out of crypto. And you're going to start seeing infinitely better rewards for your money. Your money will be more appreciated on the blockchain than it's going to be sitting inside of a bank account. That's for certain. All right. Sluggo Kukla, share that letter with Zester to match what he's talking about right now. I'll have to check that one out. I will have to check that one out. All right. Franco, like I said earlier about XRP, I bought on Uphold, still waiting on my bank to pay. With ISO 2 compliance for this transaction, I already paid Chase Bank. Ultimately, Frank, when it comes down to ISO compliance, it's not in effect yet. It's not. And so essentially, there's no requirement for the banks at this point in time. At least it doesn't appear that there is. At least they're not doing it. Whether they're supposed to or not, that's a whole other conversation. But ultimately, we're still seeing a lot of issues with banks in terms of allowing customers of their banks to go and start utilizing these crypto exchanges. And Frank, I think that the major reason now is actually changed. Banks are trying to keep you with them because they're planning on offering those crypto services. And so essentially, I think that the banks right now are trying to keep it difficult for their customers at times, not because they don't want you to buy crypto, but because they want you buying crypto from them. I feel as if it's a lot of these guys are essentially, they're about to open a car wash, and you ask them for advice on a great car wash to go to. And so, of course, what are you going to say? Oh, there are no good car washes in town. Just wait until mine opens. I think that's what the banks are up to at the moment. Surfer 44, just confirming USDC at 4.1. Let's just literally, here we go. 4.1% rewards by simply holding USDC on Coinbase. USDC is fully regulated, fully backed by United States Treasuries and US dollars, all held in US banks. Really not a big danger of them having manipulated that stablecoin, but so much, and publicly traded company. And so, yes, 4.1% rewards for USDC. All you do is just hold it on there. They don't even use it. They're not even lending it. They're not loaning it. There is no way it moves from your account. So it's just sitting there. It really is. It's a very easy thing to work with. And that's what I really love about it. Is it the highest return on the planet? No, but it's extremely simple. It's liquid. It's fluid. I have immediate access to my money, but I can also be earning on it. And that is really an awesome thing. Frank, I'll wait until it's backed by gold. Well, actually, Frank, that's interesting that you said that, because there's been major interest actually in gold-backed Tether. And so Tether Gold Now, see, Tether Gold is actually pegged directly to the price of gold. And so with Tether Gold, for every one Tether Gold token that is out there, there is an ounce of gold sitting in a bank vault. Now, I will go ahead and say it is Tether. I do not necessarily trust Tether because many of the banks that the money and that the gold and the silver and such is stored in are outside of the United States. I'm just going to go ahead and put that disclaimer up there in regards to it. But what I'm really interested in here is that we're seeing a far, far larger interest in this space, and it seems to be accelerating. Interest in gold-backed cryptocurrencies and silver-backed cryptocurrencies is skyrocketing recently. Ever since the Genius Act passed, we're seeing the same kind of genuine interest in stablecoins from everybody that are pegged to the US dollar. We're also seeing it in terms of precious metals. And that's what's really cool about things like this, though, Frank, is that what we're going to be able to do very soon is we're going to be able to, say, stake or loan or lend or yield farm, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to be able to do and participate in a ton of different things while actually having a currency that is backed by gold or silver. And so ultimately, we're able to start earning off of our gold and silver, something that has never really been able to happen, besides just the general price increasing. But so for all of us that have been gold and silver and precious metals people for our entire lives, ultimately, our precious metals mainly just sit in a gun safe. They sit somewhere safe. They don't move much. The amazing thing about tokenized gold and silver on these blockchains is that now we're going to get that security of owning gold and silver while also being able to have that gold and silver out there working for us in the same way that we could US dollars, where we could put those US dollars to work for us. We're going to be able to do the same thing with our gold or silver via the blockchain. I'm really excited on that one. Very excited. Surfer 44, will you put your money right there and then you can buy crypto back and forth or move your money back, etc.? Yeah, so Surfer, all you would essentially do is you could be like, hey, connect your bank to Coinbase. You could literally get your paycheck on Friday. And so I'm just going to use an example here of a way I had kind of thought about using it and something that I've been doing to a slight degree, just a little bit differently, is you could get your paycheck on Friday. You could immediately have that, deposit your paycheck, whatever it is, you got direct deposit. It shows up in your bank account. You immediately send that from your bank account to Coinbase. That's free. It's free. And the second that Coinbase knows that your money is on the way, they immediately let you buy any crypto you want with it. You're just not allowed to leave Coinbase until the requisite amount of days have passed to ensure that you don't have an issue at the bank or you don't charge back the transaction or something like that. But you're able to immediately buy the crypto. So it's Friday. I just got my direct deposit. I go to Coinbase and I say, hey, here's $500. I immediately convert that $500 to USDC. All of this is free, by the way. There is no transaction fee. There is no transaction cost for having deposited the money to Coinbase from a bank account. Nothing. Now, immediately, as of Friday, I'm earning 4.1% on my $500 that I just got from my paycheck. I just got that money. Now, it's sitting on Coinbase. It's earning me my 4.1% annually. And all I do whenever I want that money back is I get a Coinbase debit card and I spend it, or I send it back to my bank account once again for free, and I go about my own life. And so I really think that there's going to be a lot of very clever people that are going to start taking advantage of these different programs in order to really make a substantial little extra portion on their money annually. All right. Robbie Buck, JP Morgan is fighting against Ripple having their own bank. Once Ripple does have their own bank, then you feel that would be the place to hold our XRP. Robbie Buck, I think that essentially we're going to have a massive amount of, and we've kind of talked about this one in roundabout ways before, but I think essentially that the lines between banks and everything else are really about to blur. And so Robbie Buck, me personally, unless Ripple was offering some pretty substantial services or returns or etc., I'm going to keep holding my Ripple in self-custody. I'm more than happy to participate in these different programs that are going to earn me a return, but I'm still going to do it conservatively, and I'm going to be keeping the majority of my crypto in self-custody in wallets that I control and only I control. So I do think that there are going to be a lot of different things to participate in, Robbie. Ultimately, we're already seeing the lines just completely blur between what really is a bank. I think at some point we're going to have to redefine what the term bank really even means in this new financial world, because it's not really going to be the same thing that we all think about. Immediately you think of a bank and I can visualize a bank building. I can visualize the lobby. I know everything that a bank is, and I think we're going to have kind of it's going to change. I think in a generation or two, there are going to be a lot of kids in a generation or two that really will not know what a bank of our day was even like. At least I sure hope so. Sure hope so. Yep. Surfer 44, JP Morgan no longer considers himself a bank. It's a wealth management now. The banks are going to be wealth management, is what you're saying. Yep. Absolutely, Surfer. Absolutely. I strongly believe that that's going to be more in tune with what a bank is in the future. It's going to be more a matter of wealth management and more a matter of overall services that they can provide, that specifically that they focus in. So overall, though, I'm not going to need to go to the bank. If I want a loan, I'm going to go to any generalized lending protocol on the blockchain, and I'm going to get my loan without going through any major process with the bank. Things like that, I won't need them anymore. But that doesn't mean there won't still be a need for those different wealth management services, because I think there absolutely will. Gary 7, are crypto purchases taxable, or did they ever settle that? As of right now, it appears that things under the $600 mark are the ones that intend to be untaxed at this point in time. But Gary 7, we really haven't gotten good enough clarification on that one. We really have not. We really have not, especially because of the way it works, Gary. Right now, essentially, it has to be taxable. And the reason that it has to be taxable, and there's a reason, there's like a conundrum here. And so, Gary, when right now, I'm a store and I'm accepting crypto payments. Well, someone pays me in Bitcoin. Okay, that's awesome. But the people that I buy my products from for the store, they don't accept Bitcoin. And so I have to sell my Bitcoin to cash in order to buy the goods to sell in my store that I'm getting paid for in Bitcoin. And that creates a conundrum. Well, the Bitcoin was sold to cash. And so ultimately, taxable event, right? But whose taxable event is it? Is it my taxable event because I sent you, the store owner, that Bitcoin in exchange for your products? Is it me? Well, I didn't sell the Bitcoin. The store owner sold it. And so is it mine? But it isn't mine. And so it's creating a general, like, there's a loophole here, essentially. The loophole that's in existence is that person who bought something with Bitcoin, they never got taxed on it. They never got taxed on that purchase. And it's creating a little bit of a logical conundrum. And the easiest answer here is, well, in the future, it won't need to be sold for cash. The vendor who's selling those products to the store who accepted that Bitcoin purchase, they're just going to start accepting Bitcoin, and it'll just stay in Bitcoin the entire time. And things of that nature. But that leads down a whole other road. of still needing to answer the generalized question of what does making a purchase in crypto really mean? It's a good one. It really is. It's like it's a little bit of a logical conundrum because of the way we're used to things working. Ultimately, the answer is going to become very, very simple. And I think we're going to see crypto purchases under a certain number remain untaxed. And I think we're going to see vendors start to have the ability to remain in their cryptocurrencies without having to liquefy it and take on that tax burden themselves. It's a bit of a question at the moment there, Gary. So definitely looking forward to more clarity from the current administration on it. But as of right now, $600 and less is expected to be untaxed. And so if you're making a purchase utilizing cryptocurrency under $600 of value, the expectation is at the moment that you would not be taxed on that purchase. Hey, Robbie Buck, shut down the IRS. There won't be a gray area anymore. Heck yeah, Robbie. I'm down. Mile High Trish, QQQ, Frank O. Zester, can you explain airdrops? Oh, thank you, Trish, for making certain to highlight this question because this is a good one. And so an airdrop is what occurs with airdrops. Typically, airdrops are done as a matter of a marketing ploy. It's to create more adoption for the cryptocurrency. And so what they do is they create some rules. They say, hey, anybody who holds this NFT or anybody who signs up at this link will receive an airdrop. You give them your crypto wallet, public wallet address. And so not your secret phrase, your public wallet address, the address you receive crypto at, you give them that. And then they give you crypto tokens for following them, for participating, for signing up, whatever it may be. There's tons of different reasons that people will use for why you get the airdrop and somebody else doesn't. But essentially, what they're doing is they're trying to get more people to use their crypto. And so they're giving it away. And the thought process here is that it's cheaper for them to give the crypto away than it is for them to advertise the crypto and convince you to buy it. It's marketing. And there have been some very, very airdrops were a big thing back in the earlier days of cryptocurrency. There were some very valuable airdrops. I remember when Uniswap's airdrop occurred, it like you just got $600 for free. Like it was just, here's free $600. It was amazing. Unfortunately, that does not tend to happen near as often anymore in the airdrop world. Although we do have examples like Midnight Token that is launching that intends to airdrop to XRP holders. That's a situation where they're finding all of these wallet addresses on the public blockchain. And then they're saying, well, hey, we can confirm that you're actually an XRP holder. Here are your Midnight tokens. And so that's essentially how it works. It is nothing more than you giving them your public wallet address through any different type of means. And then there's an airdrop where you receive a portion of their token. And the reason is because they want you to use their token. They want you to buy more. They want you to participate. All right. Fred 1 spoke with a neighbor. He said his bank ATM was accepting crypto for payment. It is massive increase right now, Fred. There's been a huge increase in companies insisting on receiving cross-border payments and transactions in cryptocurrency. It is skyrocketing. And I know that because there has become an extreme desire. There's an extreme amount of companies and financial institutions that are trying to hire people to consult them on how to send and how to make large-scale crypto transfers and crypto payments. And so it's something very, very obvious because you can see it literally on the job listings. You can see this huge increase. And so we're seeing it on all sides. We're seeing a reduction in volume on the Swift system. We're seeing mass job listings for people that can assist with crypto transactions. It's coming from all sides. It's coming from all sides. All right, let's hit a few of our last articles. And then, guys, I'm going to have to go running off today. I have got a busy day. And, of course, I will be back for Whiskey and Wisdom tonight. But let's run through some of our other articles before I have to run on everybody. Trump-linked World Liberty Financial invests $10 million in Falcon Finance for stablecoin development. World Liberty Financial. Remember, the Trump crypto project, World Liberty Financial, it launched a stablecoin USD1. And this stablecoin is now set to be used as a collateral asset on Falcon Finance, fueling regulatory concerns about potential conflicts of interest related to the Trump family-backed platform, yada, 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 yada. They always have to bring that up. Anything crypto related, it's definitely just because the Trump family is trying to, take advantage of the system. They're a broken record on that front. But what is interesting here, and my takeaway, is that even the Trump family, they're not only are they developing stablecoins, investing in stablecoins, they're doing it in a variety of different stablecoin projects. They're buying in to not just one. They're not focusing. They are diversifying their eggs all across the financial world in terms of stablecoins and cryptocurrency. And this is just their most recent acquisition. They've acquired now a centralized exchange. They've acquired a decentralized exchange, a lending protocol. They have they really are. They're going to end up with every single service in the cryptocurrency space that currently exists if the Trump family continues on at this pace. And I definitely think there's probably something to be said on kind of following the moves of the Trump family in regards to where they're sending money. That's why I always keep up with it, because I am curious. Ultimately, well, where do they see the future in terms of money? And so far, I would have to say that myself and the Trump family have got to be pretty directly in line, at least judging by the things they're investing in. I would say I don't always agree with some of the companies that they're choosing to invest in, but it's always the right sectors that they're investing in. All right, though. The U.S. Senate bill seeks to include crypto in the mortgage approval process. If passed, legislation could give more weight to U.S. housing regulatory agencies' June order to consider certain digital assets for mortgage loan risk assessment. Fannie and Freddie had already in June been informed that they had to start the process of how to consider crypto in mortgages. And now we actually see legislation popping up in the Senate for it. I have a feeling that legislation is going to have a very, very hard time getting out of the Senate. But hey, who knows? Luckily, we know that already because of the order in June. We know already that it's going to happen from a regulatory standpoint, that we're going to start seeing crypto used and approved in regards to seeking mortgages, which is another amazing thing, because it means that now people won't have to sell their crypto in order to actually get that mortgage. Now they'll be able to use it as collateralized assets, as, hey, look, I am worth this amount, but I can make the monthly payment, leave my Bitcoin alone, but let me buy the house. Another exciting one. All right, though, here is our last article of the day, and this one is a very, very, very pessimistic XRP article. And so XRP open interest sheds 2.4 billion. Is a price crash next? XRP future data shows neutral sentiment despite the altcoin's double-digit price drop from $3.66. This is an interesting article. I always think it's great to be challenged in regards to my overall beliefs, and he makes some solid arguments that we could see a fairly substantial drop in the price of XRP if we don't see certain milestones or certain metrics keep up. Things that he highlights inside of here is overall adoption of volume on the XRP ledger, which he argues is quite low in comparison to other blockchains, even blockchains with lower market capitalizations, which is a fairly fair point in regards to certain things. He points to the tokenization of real-world assets, where he highlights that Ripple has been tokenizing real-world assets at the fastest rate, but other blockchains have far more real-world tokenized assets currently on them in regards to overall volume, overall liquidity than the XRP ledger does. There's a variety of other points here. I think it's a very interesting article. And so I was going to go ahead and actually share this one in the chat so that anybody who does want to go through and read the opinion piece on this one, it is an opinion piece, and it is a hypercritical opinion piece of XRP. It doesn't seem like the fella dislikes XRP, but he has some very solid points that he's worried about. And so I thought that was an interesting one. Sherry Olson, should I sign up on Coinbase to get started? Sherry, I highly recommend Coinbase as the starting spot. And then for anyone who is just getting into crypto, Sherry, the number one thing that I would recommend is dip your toe. Don't go jumping head first. And so get something like Coinbase. Buy $10 of crypto. Do some of the little reward things if you see any pop up, although it seems as if some folks aren't getting any learning reward options and that Coinbase is actually phasing that out. I imagine it'll be replaced with something else in the near future, but get small amounts. Don't jump headfirst into crypto or make it into an anxiety-inducing event. Dip your toe. Get a Coinbase account. Go maybe download a wallet like MetaMask on your phone. Send $1 of crypto from your Coinbase account to your phone wallet, the wallet you own, and then send it back. Do little things. And if you start that way, Sherry, and you just start by just understanding a very small amount. I understand Coinbase. I can send money from my bank account to Coinbase. It's easy. It's the same as like PayPal or anything like that. And I can buy a crypto with it. And after you get to that point, then let's start worrying about more of the complex things that you can get into. But if you start there, you shouldn't have too many hiccups along the way. And it really is. I have sent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of crypto transactions at this point. I still go slow whenever I am using a new exchange or a new protocol or a new anything in the crypto space. I still go slow. I still do test transactions. If I'm going to do something new, I only do it with a couple dollars at first, and I see how that works. It really does. Sherry, you're in the right place, and you're here at the right time because it's an extremely exciting time to be in the crypto world. So I hope that you have fun. I hope you have fun with the learning process. Definitely start with Coinbase. It's very user-friendly. It's very easy. All right, though, guys. One last article, and then I'm going to head off. I forgot I had this one. BlackRock Genius Act reclassifies $266 billion of stablecoins as regulated payment tools, 7% of the overall crypto market. And so the Genius Act being placed into context inside of this article, and then this article being AI Invest, I found it to be fairly interesting in how it put it together. And it's bland as all get out, but it gives essentially all the important information in regards to the Genius Act and how stablecoins currently work, how they used to work, and expectations for how they'll work in the future. And so the Genius Act, we talked about the Genius Act a lot, very excited to have it pass in regards to regulating and a framework for how stablecoins work. And so the law mandated 100% reserve backing with U.S. Treasuries, $266 billion market that has over $120 billion of U.S. Treasury reserves that are backing up these stablecoins. Very, very interesting article. very, very bland. I'm going to leave that one also in the chat for anybody who does want to get more of a down to the nitty gritty in terms of how the stablecoins work under the Genius Act. So with that one, guys, I have got to go running off. I've only got a minute or two to be ready to jump on a call. And so thank you guys so much for joining today. I will be back talking crypto on Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here. But of course, I'll also be on Whiskey and Wisdom tonight on the original Mark Z channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If anybody would like to join and maybe get a little bit of wisdom out of it. But all right, guys, love you all. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you soon.